30 minutes after the hour, we are back with a Fox News alert. An apparent terror attack on a subway at the height of rush hour. This is a live look over the scene right now in London. There are reports that police believe there is a second bomb now and a man with knives on the loose.
Right. We're looking for verification on that. Terrified commuters sent running for their lives at the station in Parsons Green. Images from the scene show a burning plastic bucket stashed in a carrier bag with wires hanging out.
Witnesses say it exploded suddenly, sending a fireball down the carriage, the subway car. The London Ambulance Service says about 18 people are in the hospital right now, none of them with serious injuries. Witnesses say several passengers were left with severe burns to their legs and faces, while others were hurt after getting caught in the massive stampede out. Crush sort of injuries. Right now, let's bring in James Mitchell. He, of course, wrote the book on interrogating terrorists. He was also, and a lot of people don't remember this, he's a bomb technician for the U.S. Air Force. He joins us right now on the line. Jim, as you look at this white bucket from this subway car in London, we heard that there was a flash, there was a bang. When you look at it, though, you can see there's a white bucket. It's a little, it appears to be wrapped in a plastic bag, maybe a thermal bag, which is on fire. What could this possibly be?
Well, I'm sure that what they're doing is they're looking at the fusing and they're looking at the construction of the bucket. There's any number of, as a bomb tech, there'd be any number of things that I'd be interested in looking at. Is this a dry run for some sort of a dispersion device for a chemical attack later on? Mm-hmm. Is this some kind of a diversion to pull the police to that area so you can either harm them with a secondary device that's in the area there? Where really what you want to do is hurt the first responders. Or is this a distraction to get them on that side of town so you can do something more nefarious, like stab a bunch of people in a different section of town?
Jim, we're also, we're looking at this bomb. We're tapping into your expertise. We also are looking at this pattern. We look in Britain, there was a terror attack, in a car, and a guy with a knife slammed into people right near Parliament in March, a suicide bomber in Manchester in May, a van and knife attack in London. That happened both in June, and a van attack, again, 2 attacks in June. What's going on with London?
Well, I think they're paying the price for their immigration policies. I mean, either deliberately or inadvertently, they've allowed these hotbeds of radical Islamic ideology to be created, and now they're paying the price. This is a problem that we can't address in the immediate future. This is a problem that's going to take decades to fix. And the first part of fixing the problem is to stop the influx of this radical ideology so that 20 years from now, we're not fighting the children who are being indoctrinated now.
Right. And, you always hear this. When you see something, you say something, Jim. And you look at what happened this morning in London. You see this construction bucket in the back of the train. I mean, if you were to walk on going to work, you would probably just think maybe they're doing some construction on the train there. Maybe it's not worth saying something. What advice do you have, as this is the new normal we live in, and there's not a lot of security on these subways and on these trains? What should people pay a close attention to that might seem unusual?
Well, my impression, I just saw a brief picture of it on Fox News. Mm-hmm. My impression was that it was in some sort of a thermal bag, so it probably didn't look like a 5-gallon paint bucket to the people who were seeing it before it blew up. It probably looked like somebody was carrying home their groceries that were frozen.
Absolutely. Right.
Jim, so what? Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what does it say about the bomber? This was not a suicide bomber. It's not like he had it strapped to his chest. He just put it down there, probably walked off the car. It exploded. So what does that tell you about the particular person who left that there?
Well, you got to remember that the idea here is to target the minds of the people, to target the minds of the citizens in London so that they will be so frightened they will allow the ratcheting up of self-imposed Sharia, right? That's the point of that. They want to convert England, the United Kingdom, to an Islamic state, and the way to do that is to scare people so badly that they won't oppose the little changes. Mm-hmm. And then when you get enough little changes, you impose the big changes. And what KSM, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, made clear to me when I was talking to him about these kinds of attacks in 2004 and 2005, people are very afraid of fire. Nobody wants to burn to death. And these kind of subway or tube attacks where flames are involved, without having actually set off a bomb that did very much actual carnage in terms of killing people,
right.
They have undoubtedly sowed the seeds of fear for future firebombs on subways.
And Jim, you know the mindset of the Muslim terrorists. They have a Muslim mayor. Can he be empowered to do something that maybe a Catholic, Protestant, or Jewish mayor couldn't? Could he possibly get through to the Islamic community better than someone else?
It really depends on the level of radicalization. If they're hardcore, we're hobbyists or Salafists, that mayor is an apostate. And it would be worse to listen to him than it would be to listen to a straight-up Christian. On the other hand, if they're westernized and they're kind of sitting on the fence and they're feeling like, well, you know, the Christians don't understand us or the Jews don't understand us or the atheists don't understand us, well, maybe they would feel better for a mayor. But for a guy like KSM, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind behind 9/11, that London mayor is an apostate who should be killed, not listened to.
All right,
and by the way, we don't know if it's a Muslim that did this. We just know the past ones were.
We know that it has been declared a terrorist incident, but nobody has taken credit for it. Okay, Jim Mitchell.
Jim? Okay.
It's early days, and there's no reason to suspect that it, I mean, you know, for all we know, it could be, you know, some sort of supremacist group or nationalist group.
You got it. Good point.
Thank you, Jim.